Hello, fabulous superstar Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of August 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. Boys, it's a very special time, especially for you. We've got some important energies playing out here. Mainly, it is a blue moon month. So we will start the month on a full moon and we will end the month on a full moon. That moon that we have at the end of the month is a blue moon because it's two full moons in a given month. Now, what that suggests in a larger sense is that this can be a time where there's a little bit of a roller coaster. You are admitting the truth about what you feel in different areas of life. And the truth of what your emotions are, how invested you are, and what the right thing is to do in these contexts. However, for you, all of this journey becomes so much more significant. And that is because the full moon that we start the month with is a full moon in your sign. And normally you get one full moon per sign per year. This is your moment. This is all the emotion stirring, all the emotion rising right up to the surface, feeling a sense of what your truth is about who you are powerfully now. The thing with this full moon is, on the one hand, it is connecting with Mars. And so that suggests emotions rising, energies rising, adrenaline rising very quickly. And so there's some stimulus and you're having to meet it and address it at this time. There could be just some frustration, or maybe you just have an outburst that you didn't expect. I'm sorry to say, but it does happen. Here's the thing. We've got a square to Jupiter at the foundation of your chart. If anyone is likely to overdo it at this time, it is likely you. It is at this time when it may feel as if in some way you're going overboard, or you're pushing really hard, or trying to make something happen. With Jupiter at that foundational part of your sky, if you have a home-based business or you work with homes, that could be where you're really pushing hard. But this could also be related to a more personal, emotional matter, where you are digging very deep within you to be honest with yourself about what you really feel about a matter near and dear. In some way, you are choosing to redefine yourself in key ways. A full moon in your sign will always illuminate some truth about your identity and priorities. And that's part of the honesty as well. Where it is that identity and priorities is really not reflective of who you've told yourself that you actually are, well, that disconnect can feel especially strong, but the desire to bring things together can be there as well. I do think this time can be where what is near and dear to your heart is illuminated. And that illumination can come with the real opportunity to move towards meaningful healing within yourself. For those of you that might feel like you need to have that meaningful healing in your relationship with your body, within your skin, you feeling at peace within your skin and in your body, this energy will encourage you to ask the right questions to do that work. For others, where it is that there needs to be healing energy and work done towards your family of origin, your parents in particular, this energy will help you in that as well. But I think for the most part, and for many Aquarians, a lot of this says putting the past behind you. Admitting how far you've come, feeling all the emotions, seeing the larger cycles, and then saying, okay, I've gone as far as I'm going to on that path. I'm ready to say, I see the past differently, and now I can release it and let it go. It can be a powerful time of redefinition as a result of what you release. But ultimately, that release has an intention. The intention is to live more fully, to be yourself more authentically, to get excited about all there is that you have yet to do in this lifetime, to feel more confident in all it is that you are feeling inspired by and how you're being motivated forward. Mid-month, we have a new moon in your opposite sign. This is going to bring focus on one-on-one alliances, partnerships of all kinds, including professional alliances, are highlighted here. This particular new moon is rather interesting. On the one hand, it is close in the sky to Venus, and Venus is retrograde. And so there's an element there of familiarity, of revisiting the past. Maybe an ongoing situation comes up again with a business alliance, or maybe you're thinking about a new start with someone you were aligned with before. However, we've got Uranus speaking in a conversation of tension with this new moon. Now, that is a trickier energy. I do want to be straightforward with you on that. That square of Uranus says whatever comes up now, it'll feel like it comes up out of nowhere. There's a wild card factor here about what other people might do, what other people might choose. The fact that at this point we have Mercury slowing down, officially going retrograde on the 23rd, just days after this new moon, it's that Mercury retrograde that's going to happen in a part of the sky for you that has to do with financial agreements, financial settlements, in addition to profound change, profound truth and transformation. And so if part of business alliances and partnerships includes financial agreements, that's where you may need to pace yourself, but you have to trust your life as well. It can feel as if you make a connection with someone out of nowhere, but you will need to pace yourself to figure out whether or not it is financially good for you or not. For all that, though, this can be a time when you're seeing the partnerships in your life differently. And in some cases, it can feel as if a new business associate or alliance comes in rather quickly, perhaps even dramatically, and it could be accompanied by another leaving. At the end of the month, we've got our blue moon. That blue moon is taking place in a financial part of your sky, but that part of the sky also has to do with self-love and self-esteem. So money you earn, money you spend are covered here. Some interesting characteristics of this full moon. It is speaking in a conversation that's quick moving with Mars again. So if you think back, the full moon at the beginning of the month in your sign was doing that. Here we are again. We've got that quincunx happening to Mars. So whatever shows up might feel like it raises your energy, raises your adrenaline, or might feel like it comes up out of nowhere or activates you to action in some way. But Saturn is close in the sky to this full moon, and that is very notable. It is that Saturnian energy that says, be measured, be mature, be responsible. It's a full moon, so it's very much about things coming to fruition. And I do think this can be a time of prosperity for you. You might have to take some action very quickly to align with greater prosperity, but you will likely be able to fulfill that aim at this time. If it is that you are looking to change your source of income, I would just be a little mindful. As I mentioned, that Mercury retrograde, it is going to be in full effect by the time we get to the end of the month. And so financial contracts and agreements, that's where you have to be careful. But for all that, if you are hoping for a new financial opportunity, it can come, but it's going to be rooted in what it is that you have done before, what it is you do well, what it is you've proven, your past successes. If it is that you are thinking of spending money at this time, I do think a lot of this energy says delayed gratification. And so if you have been focused on something you're really hoping to get to purchase, this can be a time when you're being more honest about it. You may be reaching a sense of fulfillment, like the sacrifice was worth it. But of course, there might also be some expense that shows up. And as part of being responsible, you understand how to meet it. The thing is, when we have such strong financial energy, it means that the money you need is there. Sometimes you have to do a little bit more to have it come together for you. You have to show up in some way, learn some lessons, but the money you need is there. It's like the universe is using your financial circumstances to help you to learn those spiritual lessons, but the abundance is assured. The other thing is with self-love and self-esteem, boy, this can be a time when you really are rooting yourself in healthy self-love that could come about through a moment, an interaction that feels like it comes out of nowhere. And either you are needing to assert self-value or it's being brought to you. It could go in either way. So sometimes, yeah, it could be a moment where it feels like there's some tension or frustration that makes you say, no, I love myself and therefore I'm making this choice. Sometimes it is a moment with high energy and high enthusiasm that gets you to the same place. Regardless, though, this can be a time when you are rooting healthy self-love and self-values in ways that can change your life practically and in real ways. Now, where it comes to matters of love, let's talk about that new moon smack dab in the middle of the month. It is such an important energy for you now. On the one hand, that new moon close in the sky to a Venus retrograde, yeah, this is a peak moment of the larger Venus retrograde season for you. But then there's that Uranian energy as well. Love is going to feel like a shock, like a surprise, like a jolt for some out there as well. What you least expect may show up. For those of you open to meeting someone new, you could absolutely connect with someone new at this time. It might be a reconnection with someone from your past, or in some way they are like someone from before. However, the trick here is, the interesting factor here is that this energy can also speak to factors there that you hadn't considered. Either this person is very different than anyone you've dated before, or if it's someone you're reconnecting with, in some way they are different. They may show up in your life very spontaneously out of nowhere. But it can also be your own feelings around meeting someone or how you're meeting someone that can be illuminated in some way for you now. Regardless, you're connecting very deeply to a sense that love can show up for you. For those of you just starting to date someone, I think there is going to be some moment of truth that it's almost like it lifts the veil or, releases any pretenses very quickly now. And so if it is that you've just been dating this person, getting to know them, it's almost like there's a little bit of, tiptoeing that happens until you get to that moment where there's this stark honesty and you're really looking at who this person is and you're really looking at who you are and how you really feel about them. All of that is likely to stir powerfully at this time. Now, it's always up to you what feels right for you to do in light of your unique circumstances. And with that erratic energy, if you feel like, okay, what I see now, it isn't working, I'm done, then of course you want to honor that. With Venus retrograde, and especially with Venus retrograde active now, it does suggest that breakups that happen tend to not stay broken up. What you want, what you feel, it just might change. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. Either this is a dramatic new beginning for the two of you, or it is you having a surprise attraction to another person, whether or not you do anything about it. Where it is your relationship is strong, this can be just a surprise twist and turn, but ultimately fortifies the bond, brings that much more sweetness and light into the mix. But where it is that there have been doubts, all of that could come out right now. All of it is coming to the surface. The frustration, the desire for change. In some ways, it may feel unexpected, but if you really examine, there might be a sense that, okay, this truth you might have felt for a while. So it could be your partner that behaves in ways that surprise you, or it could be you that gets honest with your partner about a matter that takes both of you by surprise, given the very spontaneity of the moment. Regardless, though, with Venus retrograde, you're being invited to contemplate more deeply the love that you share, to get honest with yourself about the love that you share as part of fortifying the pathway forward. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I am going to say, I love that full moon in your sign. That is the star of the show, without a doubt. This full moon is going to bring so much of your feels right on the surface, so much emotion right on the surface. that you can't help but get honest with yourself about what you really feel about a matter near and dear to your heart. You're getting more clear about whom it is you are, how you identify, and what your priorities are. You might overdo it, be overconfident in some way, and yet there's also a sense of you feeling inspired and energized by who you've become and who you have yet to be. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com, where you get expanded, exclusive horoscopes, class passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are in the description below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.